Hello, everyone. We're live. Welcome. Who's here? Oh, my goodness. I see Karen. I see IG Roller Disco 17 and Being Nessing. Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much, Being Nessing. I'm going to have a little celebration. I've been wanting to do it. We'll do it. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Okay. I want to say if you're watching this on a restream, I hope you enjoy it. Please leave any remarks, any ideas, feedback in the comments section. I like to read your comments, okay? So we will begin the show. But I want to first say that Marlon, we want to keep Marlon in prayer, okay? Marlon isn't going to be hanging out with us tonight. He's going through, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me telling you, he's had family loss, and we want to keep him in prayers. We love Marlon, our good brother, and we will power through. We're going to be thinking of him. If you want to send him some love in the comments, maybe he'll have a minute, he can see it. But more than anything, please keep him in your prayers, okay? Thank you so much. And let's start it off. I will begin right now. All right. So, again, I want to thank you, and let's get into this episode of the Cultural Rewind Retrospective. Okay. I hope you're all doing well this evening. Sorry for the late start, but thank you for understanding. So, we will continue with the timeline, and we are now episode 40. And this would be the year 2004. So do you remember what you were doing in 2004? Do you remember the happenings? Well, this evening, we're going to remember together. We're going to go back through this timeline and see just how many things we can connect. Because there are a few things that surprised me. We were busy living this timeline, and looking back on it is really it's a doozy. It's something else to see this kind of thing in retrospective. So let's begin with looking at our timeline in some images. Hey there, 420 Wall Dragon. How you doing up there in Canada, Stan? Hope everything's going well. Thank you so much. I know Marlon will appreciate the love, the prayers. Yes, please. That's right. Our Marmar, right? All right, so I want to begin with looking at this crazy timeline. All right, so you can see the images that I selected for this particular year. And yeah, it may start to prompt your memories for this year. Do you remember some of these events? Does this trigger your memory at all? Okay, so as you can see, we got a few characters here. We will start off with Miss Condoleezza, as they call her, Condi Rice. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. I'll let Marlon know that he has a lot of love here in the chatmosphere. So let's look at Condoleezza Rice for a minute. Condi Rice, they called her. And this would be the year that she testified before the 9/11 committee. And she was a big player during this time of the Gulf War, and the cover story for why we got into this particular war. And of course, Dick Cheney, and those guys. And I know war is just one of those things that we never want. We don't want war. And I know currently it's a lot of debate about war because it's just an ongoing thing. When are we going to have world peace? I say we'll have world peace when, when people are free to be self-determined, and communism doesn't exist anywhere, Marxism, all of these isms that never worked. The only representative government that seems to have worked and lasted is not a democratic, I'm not going to say democratic, but a constitutional republic, right? A republic. And we'll talk about that a little at another time. Hey there, the guru, you're here. Welcome. And thank you, Jan. Thank you. All right, so Condoleezza Rice and the gang were up to shenanigans. And Colin Powell is not with us any longer. But Condoleezza Rice, from what I understand, she works out at Stanford. She's a professor there. And I think she was going to buy was it the Cleveland Browns? She was going to become an owner. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the Cleveland Browns. She's really into football. She's quite a character, that I did a piece on her and Susan Rice, the Rice ladies. And it was pretty, the similarities, they have some connecting places, Condoleezza and Susan. I think it was Madeleine Albright's father was the mentor and father figure. And that's where I think they connect. Hey, Wyoming chick. Hello and welcome. So glad you're here. All right, so this is the year, if you remember, that Janet Jackson, Miss Jackson if you're nasty, had a wardrobe malfunction. Do you remember that? A wardrobe malfunction that cost her a lot because she was going to play Dorothy Dandridge, or no, Lena Horne, was it? Lena Horne, I believe. And Lena Horne maybe pulled out of the project or didn't want Janet to play her after this. Possibly, I'm not sure. This here is one of those events that I haven't fully thought about deeply. It was disturbing, and it did cost Janet, but it also cost Timberlake, Justin, because he became hated by many still. He's hated to this day regarding this wardrobe malfunction. It was very odd, excuse me, and it was an appeal. Janet Jackson had a case that went to the Supreme Court over this, and they appealed a ruling by the Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Philadelphia, saying that the court was wrong to throw out the case, and a $550,000 fine against CBS Corp was assessed because of this. So it is a weird incident. I did not like this for Janet at all. So the FCC had to step in. Welcome, Beth. How you doing, Beth? Thanks for stopping by. We're talking about 2004. Do you remember it? And 2004 was also the maiden voyage of what they call the Queen Mary. the Queen Mary, I think they were calling this the QE2. Do you remember how many people love to go on cruises? Who's a cruiser? My father used to enjoy going on cruises. So cruises are great. I want to start cruising. Now this cruise ship, let me find my notes. You would think I could remember. Okay, it's the Superliner. Superliner Queen Mary 2 made the first transatlantic voyage. And this was, they say, linking the golden age of ocean travel to the modern age of ocean travel. What do you think about that? Do you think that is something that most people would have access to, this level of luxury? Or do you think this is a high level of luxury? When you look at the interior, this would be one of the suites. You know, you have the upstairs, downstairs, and it looks like a beautiful ship. I don't know how to compare them. I've been seeing people on TikTok and different places that maybe live on ships part-time, and some of the ships are amazing. You know, the 2 levels and everything, it's amazing. And to think that people are living on the ships. Hey Corinne, welcome. Hello. You say cruises are dope. Yeah, a lot of people love them. So yeah, cruises are dope. And this is the year that we have Kanye West. Yay. He did his very, I would say this was one of his best, would you say, albums, College Dropout? Let me know, do you consider this his best work, College Dropout? Interesting symbolism, I would say. I'm not going to dig too deep, but we know he's throwing up the rock, as they call it, the rock symbol. It's not the rock symbol. It is another hand symbol. It goes deeper than just the rock. So yeah, Kanye West, he was young, you could see, and maybe he really did drop out of college. I'm not sure. I think he did. Did he go to college? I'm not sure. His mother was a professor, I know. And then we had, this is the year that officially the millennials entered college. So what are you saying? You think it was his best? How about you? The Guru College Grip R is definitely, you say it was a good one, but not his best, would you say? Let me know what's your opinion on that. So what's a good song on that album, if you remember? Throw one in. Is this where he did Gold Digger? Gold Digger. I know she ain't messing with no broke. I can't say the N word. It's not a good time to all these things, right? I'm just going to refrain. Okay, so the millennials hit the college campuses. And this is the year that we are told Mark Zuckerberg, out of his Harvard college dorm. Remember, I don't believe these Genesis stories that they give us for people like Mark Zuckerberg when he supposedly started Facebook in his dorm room. Do you believe that Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook in his dorm room? Let me know. Do you believe the cover story? But that's what they tell us. Look at his dorm room. It looks like it's staged, right? I see the crocheted blanket. What was it from his grandmother? They probably have a great story. But this is a Harvard dorm room. I don't know, Zuck. I don't know if I believe this, Zuck. But this is a strange image right here with Zuckerberg and Bill Gates sitting in a dorm room as a photo thing where they're kind of, I think they're mocking us. I don't know. It's weird. Let's see. Oh, yes, Corinne. It started out as LifeLock. Was that the first name of it? Facebook? You don't believe the Genesis story? How about you, Beth? Nope, that's dark. He's one of the 13 bloodlines they decided to use as the front man. I go with that right there. Suckerface is a Goldberg actor. Cray weird, right? It reminds me, you know what? It gives me the vibes of when Joe Biden, remember Joe Biden and his wife, Dr. Jill? They took that weird picture. It was like a room like this. It's like you're in a Alice in Wonderland, like you just ate one of those little cakes or something. It's a strange thing. So we have Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. My gosh, how weird. Bill Gates. Who would have thought that Bill Gates would be in the position that he is in today? Everything that the conspiracy theorists, or we should say realists, everything they said about Bill Gates is really true. He's wanted in nations at this moment. They want him. He has charges that are levied against him, and I think maybe his foundation, the Melinda and Bill Gates. I know Melinda Gates wants to separate herself from this legacy. If you remember her interviews recently, she was saying, well, you need to ask him. Don't ask me about anything. Go ask him. She wants to wash her hands of this. But she has her name on this foundation. It says Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And they were doing a lot of things in other countries, right? They were injuring people allegedly with their jabs. So they're wanted. I don't know about Melinda, but I know Bill is. You said DARPA? Yes, okay, DARPA. There you are. Oh, looks like a dollhouse, right? But they're not dolls. Oh, Jesus Walks was on. Oh, yeah. I think that might be his best. Jesus Walks. Do you think? Or do you like Gold Digger? I don't know. I have to look at that. Africa hates him. So I've heard. He's in a lot of trouble in Africa. So yeah, Harvard. When I think of Harvard now, and then, oh wow, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go forward on the timeline here and there, but I'm thinking about things to connect. And Bill Gates being so close to the Epstein situation, and Harvard really is going to be scrutinized because, from what I understand, Epstein had an office on Harvard's campus. He was very involved in research and different things at Harvard, and probably gave lots of money. So it's a lot of strange things involving Harvard, Epstein. Now we see Bill Gates here. A lot of strange connections. So Facebook, you're saying DARPA. Yes, I've heard DARPA. So this is the year, everybody, that connectivity, everybody started to connect. And what has happened to this connectivity? Because when Facebook first started out, it started out as something on the college campuses. This is also the year that Google launched Gmail. If you use Gmail, this is the year that it started. So we can see how Google is starting to grow in their power. And it was in the beta stage, Gmail. A lot of us were still using AOL, maybe. Was AOL still big then? Or Yahoo? So this is also the year that My Doom computer virus was unleashed. And they said it was the most dangerous computer virus of its time. So AOL was still around then. Yeah. So My Doom, do you remember this computer virus? It's really strange that as we've been going through these years since the personal computer became, I would say, just in everyone's home, these computer viruses were being unleashed. And I want to know what they are really. What is going on? They were doing some strange things to the computers. And this is the year that George Bush and John Kerry had the very contentious election cycle. And this is when the nation began to use the term red states and blue states. And this term went mainstream in 2004. Look at this election and how look at the red states and then the blue states. No surprises. I don't know how that looks today, but I think it's more red. It's probably going to be more and more red. Look at that. Alaska's a red state. Interesting. Yeah. You say it looks a lot like, yeah, like it does. It has the interesting similar pattern here. So this election, John Kerry lost to W. And John Kerry is married to one of the Heinz heiresses. So he's not worried about losing an election, right? He's got a sugar mama. I don't know. I'm sorry, allegedly. I'm just jokes, John Kerry. I know she's not a sugar mama, but that's a lot of money, that ketchup, right? So this is also the year that Barbara Bush, the daughter, the twin, we don't see a lot of her, but she gave the address at the Republican convention this year. So I think she's the twin that when they were in the White House, wasn't she the one that had a lot of tea that spilled, that she was a party girl, kind of a party girl from what I remember. So they say that twins have a good twin and an evil twin. I guess she would be considered the evil twin. I don't know. Is Jenna the good twin? The one that's on the morning news thing? But this one, she stays out of the way, at least. She's not all up in the news cycles. I guess she's married to somebody rich, one of the rich families. So she's not doing bad. So she gave the keynote, or I don't know, whatever. She gave a speech. And look at this. He's got that ketchup money. That's right. Yes, the ketchup money has to be very deep. And the ketchup money, what about I hope that Heinz will stop putting high fructose corn syrup in their ketchup. That's very evil. That ketchup. W stole the election, Jen. Yeah, I kind of heard that. So this is the year that Gavin Newsom, listen to this. I wasn't paying attention to Gavin Newsom back then, but Gavin Newsom was the mayor of San Francisco. I didn't know. I guess I did remember that, but Gavin Newsom, look how young he looks here. He doesn't look like American Psycho so much. I don't know. Maybe he does. That one smile, he looks a little bit devilish there, but it's my opinion. Okay, so this is the year that Gavin Newsom, as the mayor of San Francisco, he married gay couples. Can you imagine? So he performed weddings at City Hall and issued marriage licenses to gay couples. And you could even see Kamala over there conducting some weddings with gay couples. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Just think about it. All of the people are still on the stage, a lot of these characters. So San Francisco, no surprises there, right? None. Okay, this will get a few people riled up. This is the year that Georgia, state of Georgia, had a referendum on the Confederacy flag. And they derived this flag. And yeah, what do you think? It looks a lot like the Confederacy flag. I never paid attention too much. But all they did was they put something in the middle of the circle of stars. So this is the current state flag of Georgia, in use since 2003, they say, and the Confederate flag, rather, called the Stars and Bars, the Confederacy's first national flag. Now, I'm in the South, and people are real serious about their flag. But when I think of Confederacy now, I think of the biblical description of a confederacy that comes against the children of the Most High Yah, a confederacy of many nations. Now, I haven't done a deep dive on the history of the Confederacy of the South, but I know that they waged a lot of terror in the South. They were burning down things and destroying and causing terror to the foundational Black Americans in the South. Yes, they were. They were burning crosses. The KKK were rioting, and they were causing a lot. And these are the Dixiecrats of today. The Dixiecrats basically are the Democratic Party. Isn't that weird in a way? Like, this is supposed to be the party that's always harping on racism, but all of this stuff is literally their stuff. So it's a weird history, and it needs to be resolved, a lot of it. This is also the year where we had the Atlanta ATL was pretty hot. And we have Little John, Usher, and who's that guy? I forget him. I'm sorry. I should remember him. Ludacris. It's so ludicrous that I would forget Ludacris, but I forgot him. And I'm not too pleased with Ludacris. He's trying to get foundational Black Americans to go to Africa. He and Sierra, you know, the singer Sierra, they're on this back to Africa kick, trying to lure foundational Black Americans to claim Africa as their motherland when we are from America. So I'm not pleased with him, Ludacris. And we don't have to say too much about Usher. Who would have thought? And then Little John, what's really interesting is that I just read something about his son. He had a really unfortunate situation. His son died. And what was it I saw about his son? I think there was something what the terms and conditions? They wanted me to, okay, so Little John's son, Nathan Smith's cause of death, because he died recently. They have revealed his cause of death, which I didn't read the article, but if you want to look it up, it's in the New York Post today. So, yeah, I think he drowned. That's the story. He drowned and took a mushroom and drowned. Something weird. So I don't know if that's going to be the official story. But yeah, you say that. I know a lot of people are saying that too. Yeah, lots. So yeah, so we have this trio, and they had a song, Yeah, Yeah. Remember that song? That was like the party anthem. Yeah. So that was big. Atlanta was really on the map then. It's not anymore. It's on the decline now. So this was the year we have Jim Carrey, who everybody is saying is a clone. I don't know. What do you think? Is he a clone? And aren't you just amazed that the mainstream circles are throwing the term clone around? I never thought we were going to see that. So they're talking about clones. We're not even talking about this stuff. I mean, we're chilling, and they're just talking about clones. Regular normies are talking about clones. Beth says she has clone fatigue. I mean, Beth, can you imagine all this talk of clones? I never thought. So yeah, they think that Jim Carrey is a clone. And then some people are just saying the man is just getting Botox. He's getting tweaks. What do you call them? What do they call the little tweakments? Tweakments. And I guess they make you look like a clone if you get too many tweakments. And men are getting so many tweakments that it's crazy. So I don't know what's going on, but the movie that he was in 2004 was The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I saw this movie. It was pretty much a mind bender. Let me look up the premise of this movie. Do you remember? Did you watch this movie? Let me know. The Eternal Sunshine or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Let me look it up, the premise. Eternal. You believe he's gone? So you believe he's a clone? Beth said, I looked closely at some of the lines in his forehead and elsewhere, and enough of them were exactly the same to make me think he had lots of plastic surgery. Yeah, I mean, now the men are having as many tweakments as the women. You've heard about this, right? We are now currently in a weird time where they're taking hammers and, well, not older men. This is happening with the younger men. They're taking hammers to their face and beating on the bone structure, and they're chiseling their features. They're getting the buccal fat removed, and they're on Ozempic. So they're losing weight on Ozempic. What else are they doing? They're doing a lot of things with their features. So it's possible that he just got too many tweakments and just too many. I don't know. So wait, let me see what this is a science fiction romantic drama, and about a couple. Kate Winslet is in this movie, who undergo memory erasure after they break up. So it uses elements of psychological drama, science fiction, and non-linear narrative to explore the nature of memory and love. So they wanted to forget about each other. Interesting. Did you ever have a relationship that you'd like to erase your brain and act like they never existed in your life? Who has had a relationship like that? They both wanted to erase their memories. Interesting. So this is also the year that gave us the Passion of the Christ. Very brutal, very bloody. That was powerful movie. I did see that movie. And we have Mel Gibson producing that movie. And we have also who played the Christ would be what's his name? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to forget you. That's so rude. How could I forget him? He's a nice man too. Jim Caviezel. Jim, I'm sorry. Just charge it to me being tired, Jim. So Jim Caviezel plays Jesus. Jim is a very nice man, by the way. And then we have Halo 2. This is disturbing because Halo 2 is a first person shooter game. And we wonder why we had all of this school shootings. And I believe it definitely influences young people whose minds are not developed, right? So, first person shooter games, not a good idea. Also, World of Warcraft was released online. This is a multiplayer role-playing game. It sounds like Dungeons and Dragons a little bit. And we also have this picture here. Let me get out of the way. The Scream was stolen at gunpoint. Look at this picture. It looks like something I said it before. It looks like somebody just took a piece of paper and crayons and just made a picture. I don't see what's so big about this picture. I don't get this with art. How is this a big deal? So someone stole the Scream at gunpoint. They tell us. I don't know. Weird. And also we have Mean Girls. The movie Mean Girls was debuted. I saw that movie, and I've lived with lots of mean girls in my life. I've been around them, and yeah, who's been around mean girls? I grew up with mean girls. So this movie was just like, okay, yeah, and then we have Desperate Housewives, which maybe I don't know, did that influence the Housewives franchise that we have on Bravo? What is this? It's like you can see the subversive nature of Hollywood. You have the Passion of the Christ on one hand, then you have first person shooter games, Halo 2, and then Desperate Housewives. Why are they desperate? And look at them all in heels, and they look like they're about to walk the beat. Don't they look like, this is weird to me when I look back at it. Very subversive. And this is the year that Martha Stewart was found guilty of lying to the feds. Something about insider trading. I don't know who Martha made mad, but it is not common to see a woman like Martha Stewart go to jail. So she really made somebody mad. She did a Kanye West or something. I don't know what she did, but she had to serve some time. I think it was how many months? It was months. But while she was in prison, she made the most of it. She was like the model prisoner, of course, and she was very down to earth. You would think that she would be hoity-toity in prison, but she wasn't. Right, Corinne? I love the stories. You know what? I like Martha Stewart. I don't care what anybody thinks. I've always liked her, even when before jail. But when post jail Martha was way more fun and more like relaxed. The pre-jail Martha was a little too wound up, too tight. I watched her. Okay, for instance, I used to watch her show and get her magazines. I was all in. Just like with Oprah. I was all in with her too. But I'm still rocking with Martha, okay? Much different from Oprah. But Martha, oh my goodness. This is pre-prison Martha. She was doing this holiday. She was doing a graham, what is it called? The cookie house. What is that cookie house? You would think I never did any of this stuff. A graham cracker cookie house. What is it? A gingerbread house. That's what it is. She was doing a gingerbread house. And of course, Martha can't do a regular house like a little cottage. She's doing something that looks like a Tartarian cathedral. Do you remember this? She crocheted that cool shawl. That's right. She was crocheting in prison. She did 5 months in federal prison and 2 years probation. Yes, yeah. So, okay, back to this gingerbread Tartarian cathedral that Martha was doing one Christmas show. And she had children helping her. And she just doesn't seem to be really in like a children person, not a kid person. She doesn't like, I was nervous while I was watching her because I was nervous that the children were going to mess up this cathedral house, and I was afraid of what she would do to or say to one of these kids, right? I felt like it was me there, and it was so much tension about, she was making candy, colored like candy, that she was making stained glass windows in this freaking gingerbread house. I was like, whoa, Martha, she goes way above. But that's what I liked about her. She did too much. I like that. But this is what she did when she went to court. You talk about doing too much. She's like the poster child of doing too much. She brought her Birkin bag to court. Do you remember hearing about this? She bought her Birkin bag worth like $30,000. She was really making them mad. I think she was trolling, right? Right, out with the spoon if the kids acted up. I know, I wish I had that. But you know what, Corinne? You could have that creativity if you had a staff of people working on these projects. She's just a director. She comes in and does a few little things. But that woman had a big staff of people on hand. So it makes creativity a lot easier. But this was quite, I love this, okay? So Martha Stewart, they had a lot of memes of her decorating her prison cell. Look at these. Wait a minute. Let me get off the screen so you can see the yellow decoration. I would be like her, okay? I would, if I could, I would decorate my prison cell. If I could. I'm just saying. I will never have to do that, but I'm just saying. Look at that. That's so funny for a meme. I resonate with her. Just the overboardness of it all. And then this is supposed to be what she really did. This is not a meme in the middle. She baked pies for her prison booze. So she had lots of prison booze. I'm not saying girlfriends, but friends, okay? She was down with the prison booze. She was crocheting ponchos for them. She was baking pies to deliver to the I don't know. How does she get away? I don't know. Don't they worry about you putting like shanks inside of pies and cakes? I don't know. I guess they let her deliver the pies to her cellmates. But that's awesome. I think it's awesome. And this is the year that we have John and Kate. Is it John and Kate +8? Kate. What is this couple's name? So she had 8 children total. They're from Philadelphia. Did you know that? Kate Gosling. Kate Gosling had sextuplets this year to add to her other 2 children. And this haircut has become iconic. It represents let me talk to the manager. That's the let me talk to the manager haircut, as well as the frosted. Just if this is how you wear your hair, I love it for you. I love it when I see women like this because they still do wear this haircut. I think I love it. I don't know why. These are usually really fun women. They're usually really spunky, just so you know. Whenever they have this frosted streaks, these are women that don't take any crap. Do you know what I'm talking about? These are the white women that will kick your ass, okay? At least the ones I've met. When they have this hair color, I know they are standing on some kind of business, and you better not mess with them. Do not take them. Don't let the smooth taste fool you, because they will kick your ass. I'm telling you. I have been around these kind of women. They're tough. There's some tough ones. So yeah, you see the children. I don't know what's going on today. They call it the Karen haircut. Sorry, Karen. I told Karen I would stop using this meme. This Karen. It has not gone away, Karen. I thought it would go away. It has not. It's just gotten stronger. You said it's a horrible haircut. It's a horrible haircut, you think? I don't know. It's a fun hair. It's the stuff in the back. You know, it just needs to be, it was cut too short in the back. And it gives that sort of chicken rooster look. I love it. She's funny to me. Okay. You said, all right, so let's move on. All right, so we have the governor. No, yeah. The New Jersey governor. Who's from New Jersey? So New Jersey's governor, McGreevey, I remember this press conference. Do you? The governor got into some kind of scandal, I guess, and he had to have one of those really demoralizing press conferences where your wife is standing next to you shooting dirty looks. Look at his wife, the long-suffering wife. Oh my God. These are some of the funniest press conferences and photo ops. That looks like the mother-in-law. She's looking kind of like, we're going to get you when we get back home. We're going to tag team you. So he came out as gay. Wow. That's going to be, wow. I'm telling you, this is something. So, boy, I don't know what she did to this man, but I don't think it was good. Look at how he is aged. He's trying to make a comeback, or he already made a comeback into politics. I don't know. Have you heard anything from this guy, McGreevey? But he came out. He said he is gay. And that is a problem when you have a wife. It's kind of a problem. Okay, so this is the year that Kobe Bryant the charges were dropped against him for the sexual assault that happened in Colorado. The woman who said that he did something to her, I don't think she wanted to press charges anymore. She didn't want to go through with it, so it was dropped. I don't know if that was a humiliation thing that they were doing, but Kobe, he definitely went against the brotherhood, I'll say. He went against them. I don't think he was very liked. He was very much an individual. So I just don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. Everything about Kobe. I don't believe any of the narrative anymore. I'll just say that. And Bill O'Reilly, do you remember the O'Reilly factor? So he had an sexual assault case on him. I don't know what ended up happening. Do you know what happened to Bill O'Reilly of the O'Reilly Report? You think it was a blackmail incident against Kobe? Yeah. I say something was weird about it, the whole thing. And this is the year that we were told that bin Laden, he supposedly admitted to everything, a 9/11. Look at how weird this was supposed to be a video that they had, and I guess he's in a cave or something, but it's all very weird. His name was supposed to be Tim Osman or something. Osman, Tim Osman, and I think they say he was CIA agent. Very weird stuff. Then we have Fidel Castro, and he banned any transactions with the US dollar this year. So, yeah. Okay, Fidel. And this is the year that they isolated graphene. So, graphene is a very thin, very strong material. They say it is like 200 times more stronger, is stronger than steel. It's thinner. They cut this graphene and attached it to like tape, like, Scotch tape. Really interesting. And you can see how it is so small. One of those conductors, chips, graphene. And also, when it comes to graphene, I don't want to get off into too much conspiracy, but I think graphene was a component of the Jabba Doodles from the 2020 Jabsters. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think they said it was some kind of graphene in that. Graphite is so strong, it's used for motorcycle apparel. It protects from falls. Wow. Oh, like a rash guard? So they say it's a crystalline allotrope of carbon, a perfect thermal conductor. 100, I said 200, sorry. 100 times, it was right here if I had just read it. 100 times stronger than steel and is very light. Thinner, thin. So, yeah, is that, you heard that too? That it was in the jab? Some form of graphene, graphite, I don't know, something, allegedly. And this is also the year that we had 2 skyscrapers, they began building. And they became the tallest in the world. You have the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which is currently in a situation. Dubai has a weird reputation at this time, but I remember they were really trying to influence Americans to go over to Dubai as the new playground. And a lot of the celebrities, I remember I used to watch The View. Yes, I did. I used to watch The View, and Barbara Walters was there back then, and it was a little more balanced. But they had Star Jones. Remember when Star Jones was on The View? And she was so much of a braggadocious woman, bragging about everything, and she was just insufferable. She would talk about, I remember she would talk about going to Dubai, and it was just so aspirational. But we later find out that Dubai chocolate, have you heard of the Dubai chocolate? This place is so degenerate. I don't care how much they try to make it look like it's a playground for rich people. It seems so fake to me. Everything about it is inorganic. I've never had an urge to go. It's a bunch of rich people. Like, I don't see the appeal. And especially now, knowing that the Dubai chocolate is a big thing. And I believe that all of that degeneracy that is happening in Dubai and even here, it's all going to be stamped out. Oh my God. Dubai chocolate. No. It's not good, everybody. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say Dubai chocolate? Dubai chocolate. Not the chocolate that comes from Hershey's, Pennsylvania, in other words. Or not the Lindor chocolate. This is Dubai chocolate. Are you catching my drift? Okay. Let me try to tell you without getting anything. I have to use words. I'm not good at censoring myself, so I have to remember this. I'm on YouTube. Okay, so Dubai chocolate, I'll tell you, this is when the Instagram hotties, the Instagram models, they go and get flued out to Dubai by one of the rich sheiks, and they have a certain thing that they want done. You know what I'm talking about? They want the women to do things to them, or they want to do things to the women. That has to do with porta potty parties. Do you know what I'm talking? Porta potty parties. Dubai is known for it. They call it Dubai chocolate. So if you hear that term Dubai chocolate, it's not what you think. Not chocolate that comes from the cocoa. All right? So this is a practice that is very popular in Dubai. Yes. If a woman who is a model dancer wants to make a good bag of money, I'm talking, they could go over there and come back with $30,000 for attending these porta potty parties. Okay? So it is so degenerate and gross. And I don't know what's going to end up happening over there in Dubai, but we'll keep an eye on it. And the other building that became one of the tallest in the world is in Taipei. So it's the Taipei 102 or something. So those are the skyscrapers that went up. So now we have the Olsen twins. They are super wealthy. They have a clothing fashion line called the Row. Very expensive clothing. And the sisters in 2004, Mary Kate in particular, she was determined to give maternity leave to the factory workers that make their clothes over in Bangladesh. They're going to have maternity leave. Isn't that nice of Mary Kate and Ashley? Hey, Juan, welcome. Hello. Juan's here. Beth says, now I'm starting to think differently about that chocolate bar for $20. It's actually a real thing, but what is it made of? Yikes. Yeah. It's so gross. So gross. I learned about this a long time ago, and I was so turned off from Dubai. Anybody talking about going to Dubai, I'm looking at them sideways, like, really. So, yeah, Mary Kate and Ashley and their clothes made in Bangladesh. I just don't feel great about all of this factory stuff that goes on overseas for clothing. That's a high price for fashion. I want us to bring that manufacturing back here to America and people make a living wage. And our fashion is not fast fashion. Also, this is the year that the Club of Paris. Now listen to this. The Club or Paris Club, they provided debt relief to Iraq. They wrote off 80%, which was $100 billion of Iraq's debt. So they are like loan sharks, basically. And they write off the debts whenever they feel like it. Isn't that, I don't know what that entailed, but it doesn't sound legit at all. The Paris Club, everybody. Have you heard about the Paris Club? And this was the year that Ronald Reagan died. So they had his funeral at the National Cathedral in Washington. Ronald Reagan. And this is the year that Millennium Park in Chicago, or Chicago, as my mom says, Millennium Park opened in downtown Chicago. And you might know about the Bean and everything. Also, this is the last Oldsmobile rolled off of the assembly line. So when I think about Oldsmobile, this is a brand that was around for 107 years. 107. 107 years of production came to a halt. So look at some of the old logos or brands of Oldsmobile. I remember my grandfather had an Oldsmobile, and it just makes you think about the quality of the automobile industry in America. Did you love that car? You love the Oldsmobile? Yeah. So the last one was made this year. And here are some of the Oldsmobiles of the past. Look at that. I would love to have one of those. Like one of the ones they have a lot of those riding around in Cuba to this day are old cars. Look at that. Amazing, right? So, let's see, what else have I missed? It was the last year for the show Frasier, which I loved, and Friends, which I didn't love, but I watched it. I watched it because people at work always talked about it. You said you love vintage autos? Yes. Your grandfather had an Oldsmobile 98? It was a land yacht. Yes, I love land yachts. Vintage cars are the safest. Yes, can you imagine? That's a tank right there. Absolutely. You love Frasier? Me too. From what I understand, Frasier, what's his name? His real name? I think that Hollywood has given him a hard time. What is Frasier's name? The actor. I cannot remember his name right now. Anybody before I look it up? Oh, wait a minute. It's coming to me. What is his name? Kelsey Grammer. Thank you. Kelsey Grammer. Yes, Kelsey Grammer. I believe they say that he is a conservative. And he is, I guess, not too popular in Hollywood anymore, which is unfortunate because he has a good head on his shoulder. I like the show Frasier. Also, he produced a show called Girlfriends. And I used to like that show Girlfriends with Tracy Ellis Ross and a few other, I forget some of the other, Jill somebody. It was a great show. And he produced that show Girlfriends. The guru says women get paid hella money to go over there and get that Dubai chocolate all over them. Isn't that gross? Oh my God, no amount of money. I'm sorry. I've never seen him say he hates Trump. That's a good sign. Yeah, he would never say that from what I understand. I didn't know he was a conservative. So that might be why we don't hear from him anymore. They have canceled him. All right, so this is the end of the retrospective for 2004. And we will continue rewinding this timeline and look at the connections. Like I said, it was a lot of the same people on the stage, right? The world stage. The Paris Club, like a bunch of loan sharks. Look at them. The Olsen twins, unfortunately, they have gotten pretty ghoulish to me. I don't like what has happened to these young ladies. Then we have skyscrapers. Not impressed with them. I don't know why. I don't like this new architecture. It's what they call brutalism. It's not beautiful. I want beautiful architecture to come back, not this stuff, this modern, ugly, brutalist stuff. Graphene. Castro and Tim Osmond. Kobe. The O'Reilly factor. Oh my goodness, look at his wife. Shooting daggers. Kate's hairstyle. Get me the manager right now. Martha Stewart. A felon. She's a felon, but Snoop Dogg is not a felon. Her Birkin bag. Somebody stole the painting called The Scream at gunpoint. Oh my goodness. Jim Carrey, a clone or too much tweakments? You decide. Little John's son? I don't know. I don't know about the mushrooms and the drowning story. Ursher, he's a diddy bop. Ludicrous is ludicrous to think that foundational Black Americans are going over to live in Africa. The Confederate flag? I don't know. Look at Kamala and the American Psycho marrying gay couples. Look at that. W. Red states, blue states. Computer viruses. Google, Gmail. Facebook, DARPA. This guy. Bill Gates. He's cooked. Melinda, you're not getting away. Yeah, right. You started Facebook in your dorm room. The millennials started college and they started being impressed with Marx. Karl Marx infesting all the universities and colleges. So you send your child off to college, they come back impressed with Marx. Kanye West, college dropout. He fell out with Jay-Z, so there's no more throwing up the rock sign. Cruising. They say this is the most luxurious cruise. Wardrobe malfunction. Justin Timberlake. He was allegedly drinking a little bit too much in the Hamptons recently, right? Didn't he get busted for having a few too many? Connie Rice. I don't know, Connie. I don't believe you. So this is it for 2004, Curated and Connected. So I will see you all soon for another rewind. And let's do a celebration. I want to celebrate with you all. And let's get together. I completed my manuscript, my very first manuscript. So I did it, and I can't believe I did it, but it's done. And I do want to celebrate. I'm decompressing now. After that, I'm telling you, I had to take so many naps, and I'm getting back to a steady state. After you work on a project so intensely, and when you finish the project, you kind of feel like, wow, it's all done. What do I do now? It was just such a big part of my daily life. And now, when something's over like that, you kind of get a feeling of, I don't know, you want to do another project, but nothing that intense for a while. What I am doing is I'm back to crochet. I'm back to warming up my hooks. I got my yarn. I'm working on a project, and I got to do something with creativity. Write another one. You say write another one. I will. But you know what I want to do? I want to populate my Substack. If you ever find yourself over on Substack, I'm starting to populate my Substack. So come on over and see me over there. It's called American Jubilee 1776. Look for me on Substack. Also, if you are on Instagram, let's connect. I do a little more on Instagram. Hey, Star Girl Music Channel. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. What are you up to lately? I've missed you. Thanks for coming by. You say crochet is your sanctuary? Nice. You started crocheting tonight after 45 years? Whoa, that's awesome. Well, happy crocheting to you. That's great. All right, so I'll keep you posted on our let's do a celebration soon. And I'll do uploads. I'll do some more uploads, okay? So I'll be more active on the channel now that I'm starting to have a little more opening of time, okay? In the meantime, I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming, and I will look at your comments. All right, take care.